Hey, what's up? So a while ago I had a job at a place that I'll call your local space hardware, and I loved this job. I had good coworkers, a good boss, the job was really easy, and I had a lot of fun there. But then it became the worst job I've had so far in my life. Chris, that's really negative. You clearly had a good time at your local space hardware, so what made it so bad? If you'd listened to my story, I'd be able to tell you what was wrong with it. Idiot. So let's start with the obvious part of the job. It's a retail job, so I have to deal with the bullshit of customers. My favorite questions that I got asked frequently include, how do I know if my birds will like this flavor of bird seed?
Guys have a snack bar.
Do you work here?
Where's the helpful hub?
Can you fill up this gallon paint can 3/8 the way full?
There are way too many fucking customers that ask me, how do you tell the difference between a male and female end of a pipe? And there were a couple times that their kids were there, so I had to be as innocent as possible to keep the kids sane and make the parent know how stupid they are, which I should add, was hard as shit to do. So how I ended up explaining it every time was, so the male end goes in the female end. Then it would take a couple seconds to click in their mind to understand what I was saying, so then we could actually get on with the process of selling this guy his pipe that he won't even buy and instead go to another store and buy the same thing. Like this one time, I had to help a guy in the plumbing aisle, which is the second worst aisle to work in, right next to the screw and bolt aisle, because there are just way too many kinds of screws and different sizes and bullshit. It's almost impossible to find the right one, and I'm getting off track. So anyway, I was helping this guy, and he wanted a weird size change. I don't remember exactly what it was, so I'll just say it was a 3/4 inch female NPT to a 3/8 inch FIP size and thread difference. For those of you who don't know, basically the threads are different, so it can't screw onto each other, and even if it could screw onto each other, it's a different size, so it wouldn't be able to fit on there. So I was trying to find the right combination of pipes to get this guy what he wanted. We spent like a half hour trying to find it. Then he says he's gonna go back to his house to make 100% sure he measured right, so we're not doing all this work for nothing. So while he's doing that, I keep trying to find the right combination, which I eventually get it. I just had to put 3 fittings together to get to it. So I put it on the main hub area in your local space hardware and make sure that every one of my coworkers knows not to touch it because of the hell that I had to go through to put that thing together.
Nobody touch my shit right here. If you touch this, you'll die.
Another half hour later, the guy hasn't come back. So I'm wondering where he is. Then we get a phone call, and it's the guy, and I'm realizing, that's about the amount of time it took me to find one he needed. And he tells us that he went to another store and did the same thing that we had to do at your local space hardware, and he was thankful for my work and service.
Fantastic. This was a huge waste of my time.
Like, okay, I get it. The guy just wanted to see if there was a cheaper option at a different store that didn't have to combine 3 fittings. But come on, my guy, you could have just told me that instead of leaving me to keep finding your stupid 30 fittings. Now I have to take these apart and put them back, and where do these even go? This just shows that I'm a fucking hard worker when I'm at my job. I'm positive I was one of the hardest working motherfuckers there. Now don't get me wrong, I really liked most of my coworkers. I'm looking at you, Andrew. And the ones that I liked all had a thing in common, and it was that they happened to do their job. Now let's meet some of the people who I was with. We got Robbie. This guy's great. He knew everything about hardware before he even got into your local space hardware and would answer the phone / talk to customers that you didn't want to talk to. Colin, we made a lot of gay jokes, and it took him a long time to get me to like him. Halsey, she made a lot of sex and slut jokes, and she drew in my uniform a lot. Emma, who mainly talked to me about the drugs that she would try, and shit-talking Halsey, who she hated with a passion, but it's okay because Halsey would also shit-talk Emma too. And it was all to me, of course, so I got to listen to all of the complaining and bitching about each other, which was nice. And really entertaining. Theven, he was cool. We messed around a lot while doing a shit ton of work together. He's also in a marching band like me, so we talked about that a lot. There was one time on Halloween I wanted to get to a party at my place, and Theven left an hour before I did, which was at closing. So I gave him an extra $20 to stay an extra hour. Got Swank, he was also in marching band, and we fucked around the back room a lot too. Jillian, she read my palm and told me about star signs and that kind of stuff. She was cool and interesting. Brennan, I think I was like the only one he really liked working with at the store because I was nice to him since he was pretty chill. We shot a rubber chicken to the ceiling, and he's also one of the few people that I told I made YouTube videos. So, what's up, Brennan? Grace, she was pretty cool. We got dinner at Culver's after work one time. And Gabe, who loved working with me from day one when he started working there, which was the end of when I worked there. And that's all the ones that I like, and no one that I'd really say that was a big manager with So with that being said, I was always running around doing jobs that even managers didn't know how to do or were slow to do with their jobs. So I'd have to take over. I was unloading the shipment truck using their keys. The only thing I didn't do that managers could was making a key, but that was only because you had to be 18 to work the key machine, and I was 15 to 16 when I was working there. There was one manager that I absolutely hated for a reason I might have to explain in another video. And one day, we had someone call in sick, so it was me and her for most of the day until the afternoon shift came in, which was about 2 o'clock. We were absolutely slammed with customers. So I stuck around register since I knew more and could do way more and way better and way quicker than her. So I took her keys and took care of every customer that was in the store, all on my own for about 4 or 5 hours. I was juggling 5 or 6 customers at a time and still getting everyone what they needed. The next day, I got to work, and the main boss is there, and she tells us that yesterday, we made the most money that the store has ever made in its history. So I take full credit on doing that. That was all me and not fucking Nancy over here, who we know couldn't have done what I did that day. There was another day early in my time at working at your local Space Hardware where it was really close to Christmas, which is also known as the worst time to be a retail employee. And my job that day was to be on the floor, and that's it. But I get called up to the registers to help out because there was a huge ass line that went all the way to the back of the store. Alright, Jillian, it's just me and you, let's do this. But it wasn't just me and Jillian. There was Julie on register too, who was notorious for explaining her whole 65 years of life story to every customer. I get through 2 people as fast as I could. I look over to Jillian, she's having computer problems. Julie on register 2 is telling her customer about her life when she lived in Texas, her horses, every one of her kids. So I cleared out that entire line that went to the back of the store. All on my own. And that was the quickest service I've ever done in my life. Space Hardware should have made a statue in my honor for these things. I did so much for this place. And you know the funniest and best part of all of this? I got a total of 3 raises in my year and a half of working at your local Space Hardware. But I was still making only 50 cents more than hiring wage. Are you saying why I don't like the job now? And you guys know those rewards programs that stores have to get you like $1 off in the 300th time that you come back to the store? Yeah, my store did that too. We had a space rewards program. The managers would actually get mad if we didn't ask if they were part of our Super Shaver Shoppers Club. They specifically told us every single customer needs to have a space rewards. And I was never pushy with giving people rewards. I would just see if they wanted it, and if they didn't want it, then fuck it. I don't give a shit. So eventually it came to the point where I got the speed to be like, do you have a space rewards? No. Want one? Sure. So then I would finish ringing up all their stuff, and when they put their card in while we wait, I would say, so right now you have 1,000 points on your account. Every dollar you spend is 10 points added onto that account. When you reach 2,500 points, we'll mail you a $5 coupon, which is why we needed your address. If you look around the store, you'll see some yellow tags on some items. Those are only for you, and delivery is free if it's a purchase of $50 or more. Would you like your receipt? Like, I got that good at it. Like, I haven't had that job in years at this point, and I still am able to say it that fast and remember everything. Alright, I'll do another sucky story, and then I'll add some good stories from my time at your local Space Hardware. So when I first started there, I learned how to mix paint, which is really easy. You find the brand, size, and color that they want, input that all in the system, get the can that it wants you to mix with, put it under the thing so the paint can dispense in there, hammer it closed, shake in the shaker with the top of it closing down on top of the paint can, then show the customer that it's the right color. Easy. So the first time that I did this on my own, I did everything right. I put it in the shaker, push start, and it busts out of the shaker. I'm freaking out a bit because I'm fucking this up in front of a customer, and I make the excuse of, oh, maybe the magnets on the door didn't seal all the way. Wow, Past Chris, you fucking suck at excuses. So I put it back in there and do the same thing again, and surprisingly, it busts out again. So now I'm really freaking out, and I call someone for help on that little earpiece thing that we had to talk to our coworkers. Someone comes over and shows me the part of the shaker that's supposed to come down on top of the paint can is on the bottom of it for some reason. So there was nothing holding the can in place to shake it. Somehow only a little bit of paint got on the floor, and the customer wasn't mad at all about this. I was telling Robbie this story a couple weeks later while mixing 7 paint samples for a customer. She overhears me and says, I think that was me. So I proved to her that day that I learned how to mix paint flawlessly. And I even got a picture with her to make me stop cringing in the middle of the night thinking about that moment. Speaking of paint, there was one time I was helping this older Russian lady find the kind of spray paint she needed. Then while I'm explaining some stuff to her, she cuts me off and says,
I'm sorry, you have very beautiful eye.
Aw. Alright, now time to add a bit of positivity into this very angry rant about my old work. So there was this old lady that would come in semi-regularly. And she was the nicest lady. She would talk about her husband who was in World War II and just always be super nice to us. So we all wanted to help her out. Another reason we all wanted to help her out was because she would give us huge tips if she was feeling extra generous that day. She gave out $5 bills pretty often, and one day I brought her stuff that she bought out to her car. And she just hands me a $20 bill just because she was so thankful that I helped her bring her card out to her car. I get tipped pretty rarely as a whole, but there's another tipping story that I have that might be weird to you guys because it sure as hell was weird to me at the time. So I do a normal carry out for a customer, which is where you go out to the front and load bags of water softener, salt, soil, gravel, sand, whatever the customer needed from outside into their car. So I'm loading some salt into this woman's car, and while I'm loading, she asks me, "Are you a shoe size 11? Yeah. I'm really 10 and a half. Do you want these boots? My son bought them, they didn't fit him, we don't know anyone with this kind of shoe size, and we can't return them." So of course, I said yes, because who's not going to accept some free shoes even if they're too big for me? Here they are, and no, I've never worn them, but since I'm still a growing baby boy, I hope I'll grow into them.
Well, fuck this shit.
Another good one you guys would like is, so it's my third day of working at Space Hardware, and I'm on registers, then the phone rings. So I answer, and it's an Indian woman who says my car insurance is expired. I told her, I'm 15 and don't even have a license, which was true at the time. She said, "Oh, okay, bye," and I hung up. I got another call that day that was an automated message that said, "Do not hang up the phone. Your Google account has been compromised and corrupted." As it continues, I just go, bruh, and hang up. Then not too many weeks later, I'm training a new guy on registers, and I'm showing him how everything works, and the phone rings. So I show him how to answer it and get the customer what they need over the phone. So I answer, and of course, it's another scam caller, so I tell him to fuck off, suck a dick, and hang up right after. And that's how you handle phone calls. Alright, one last quick story for this video, because this video is getting long enough as it is. A dude called and asked if a girl named Valerie was there. I told him, "You know this is a Space Hardware, right?" And he said that this was the number that she gave him. So my heart goes out to you, dude. So these are just a couple stories from my time at Space Hardware. I have a ton more stories to tell. Like, I didn't even mention a single bad customer, the time that I was accused of workplace harassment, when we played football in the back room, or any of the other 28 stories that I have written down in my notes. No, that's not an exaggeration. So if you guys want some more of these stories, I'll gladly do it for you guys. Okay, bye, have fun. Oh, there's a bug on here. Okay, goodbye, bug. That was a bug on my microphone.